Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Bruce Schwartz. Thanks for the interest of the channel, the support, subscribing. We're looking at asteroids to the left of the moon in 2017. These are photos I haven't shown ever, and they're my personal photos of the objects I find. I've gathered something like, I think, not far from 100 photos for sure, just around the moon. You can see the moon in the center. Beautiful chemtrails here. People are like, oh, crappy photo. Look at what I'm showing you guys. This is the moon enhanced, so the light is extra enhanced. Over top, look at the size of the object. Makes no sense. It was descending over top of the surface of the moon. This is a chemtrail view, of course. Here's the sun. Look at the beautiful anomalies to the left of it. On the very bottom here in the center of the photo, you can see another object. Now hear me out, guys. Could it be that what I posted as being a planet or a celestial object, listen, it was the size of one. It was almost a quarter the size of the sun. Could it be a massive plasma energy, ball of energy that came out of the sun? Now, hear me out, guys, before laughing. Remember the coronal mass ejection that happened in 2017. This was that week. Don't forget, I did get that coronal mass ejection. I made my own video the exact same day that it happened itself. So now here's Aldebaran. You can see the star over top of the moon. But look what's at the back of Aldebaran at the top of the photo here. You can see purplish, reddish hue, whether it be a dust or cloud. It's amazing, and these objects were all caught within 3.5 weeks within each other. Here's another one, the top left of the surface of the moon. You can see off to the left there, and here to the right, a purplish object, again reminding me they were always appearing purple, of course, the ones that I got. I even got one that was blue at one point. But we can see, as we'll go through a couple of frames here, we're going to see a couple of shots and a closer view of this one. Now here, to the blue Kashina that everyone kept calling it, where I was introduced to it myself for the first time and looked it up, it doesn't mean it's that. I'm telling you what everyone was saying it was. These objects were all around the moon in the same week. The one at the bottom there, was also, like, these asteroids were appearing also. Don't forget, NASA was finding and declaring having some go by. There's always asteroid flybys. Like this here over the sun. Is this a transit? Well, if it's a transit, let me tell you, it's a very big celestial object that's going nearby the sun. Because that little dot beside it, over top of that little object over the sun, would be probably the size of Earth. Here, scattered asteroid-like unknown celestial objects around the surface of the moon, around the moon. And here is that object now that I was telling you about, the big massive red object that I found at the back and over top of Aldebaran. Well, it looks very similar to it. Look at what we're looking at. Either it's two celestial objects or it's one celestial object with a massive red plume behind it. This was one of the most amazing planets or celestial objects or gases or a cloud, red dust, seen from close, far, who knows. Here during the last eclipse, solar eclipse in front of the moon, of course, we can see an object that flew by that I posted in the video. Here the sun, at the same time the coronal mass ejection was recorded, probably I believe the biggest ever recorded in our entire history, right? The one that just went by. They're talking about plasma, a massive piece of plasma being ejected from the sun and leaving the sun. Could these objects not be that? I mean, instead of thinking they're planets all over the sun, could it not be coronal mass ejections of massive plumes of plasma? Maybe not necessarily making the sun lose its form or lose its size, but probably lose some of its energy. And it's funny how now the sun has entered a cooling phase, right? We know that. That's a fact now, that the sun is entering a cooling phase, and we've known it for a long time. But aside from the point of that, here, you see that? That's real speed, guys, of the object I saw. Now we're going to slow it down a little bit so we can see it spiraling. And this was in 2017 at the end, at the same time of just before the coronal mass ejection. Now here it is again. We're going to slow it down. We're going to see its size and shape. Say to yourself, Earth is probably a bit bigger than this. It's big, okay, because we're beside the sun and we're seeing it go by live. Look at that. We're even seeing it spiraling. So that's pretty cool, you know, when you're thinking of it. I have no special filters whatsoever. I have a solar filter. The Crazy Penguin sent up a couple of different models, and this is the first model, and we have yet to try it. This is with, again, Crazy Penguin's glass, welding glass. This is with a welding glass. So the welding, look at this in front of the sun. Isn't that beautiful? Two objects, a very small one at the top going left, and this one going in front of the sun. It actually, real speed was not going that fast, but then again, it crossed the sun's path in 7 seconds. So yeah, must have been going pretty fast. Here's one that whizzed by the sun and going back towards the back of the sun that we saw. Back over, we're switching over left and right, guys. We're on the surface of the moon right here. Look at the beautiful structuring around the craters. Those supposed pipes that we think are pipes maybe are not pipes. You know, they could be geometrically rectangular buildings. Starman scared the heck out of me when I saw the video. This is live. You can see objects in the background that look like celestial objects or anomalies. Either way. And don't forget, some of them could be light flares, I guess. But like this, right? A light flare maybe. But watch carefully. This isn't very long. But I did just check this clip out the minute it came out, and it was live. And I'd shown it before, but not this close. And look what happens to this object or light that we're seeing, because don't forget, the camera is reflecting, right? And it's causing pixelation, whatever, lights. But watch this. You will see the light, of course, because the camera is probably moving, picking up the sun or Earth's light. Look what happens to the object, but look at the back here. Right there. You see that? Okay, now, this is probably the best part of the video, my friends. Take a good look at this. It's the surface of the moon. These are craters, the bumps all over. You're looking at a massive city, probably approximately 1,500 kilometers wide. As we're going down here, notice the detail, please. Notice what's going on. This is not an X-ray. This is a straight up shot of the surface, snapshot taken with a 4-inch telescope. I had a 1500, well, I still have it, but I was using a 1500 millimeter telescope. So even though it was a 4 or 5-inch scope, say to yourself, it had good clarity to be able to see the surface when at about 700 or 800 millimeters. We pan up, right? Everything was blurry. And then the further it gets out, the further you go north, the clearer it gets, your footage. So you can start off and focus a little blurry below the north side. This is what I do. And then when I go up to the north side, by the time you get up to the north side with a telescope and the camera is just in perfect focus. Do you see what we're looking at, guys? We're looking at the surface of the moon. The craters have objects, structures, even inside of them. Several of them you can see in the bottom crater there on the left. This is a beautiful, beautiful proof that there are constructed objects on the surface of the moon. I can't speculate it enough. And I think it's beyond speculation, guys. Look what we're looking at. Think of it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm outside right now while you're watching this. I'm getting the moon with the P900 because it's a crescent moon. We'll see you soon. Thanks to all contributors and two recent ones, Mr. Robert Ballard and most recent, Mr. Russ Brock. Bro, welcome to the community and thanks for the generous donations, guys.